Let's check to see if anything's good.
You know what? For this episode, I'm featuring Danimates Koopa just like in the 23rd GNN news episode. Anyways, I got breaking news. Microsoft Windows 11 is available.
Nice. But anyways, I got something to say.
Okay. What would you like to say?
As you may know, Windows 11 is released today. Microsoft promoted that Windows 11 would have improved performance and ease of use over Windows 10. It features major changes to the Windows shell influenced by the cancelled Windows 10X, including a redesigned Start menu, the replacement of its live tiles with a separate widgets panel on the taskbar, the ability to create tiled sets of windows that can be minimized and restored from the taskbar as a group, and new gaming technologies inherited from Xbox Series X and Series S such as Auto HDR and direct storage on compatible hardware. Internet Explorer is fully replaced by the Blink layout engine-based Microsoft Edge, while Microsoft Teams is integrated into the Windows shell. Microsoft also announced plans to offer support for Android apps to run on Windows 11, with support for Amazon App Store and manually installed packages. Due to new security mandates, Windows 11 has stricter hardware requirements than Windows 10, with Microsoft only supporting the operating system with updates on devices using an 8th generation Intel Core CPU or newer, AMD Ryzen CPU based on Zen Plus microarchitecture or newer, or Qualcomm Snapdragon 850 system on chip or newer. UEFI Secure Boot and Trusted Platform Module 2.0 support is also required. Windows 11 no longer supports 32-bit x86 architecture or systems using BIOS firmware. Windows 11 was officially announced at a virtual event hosted by Chief Product Officer Panos Panay on the 24th of June 2021. According to Nadella, Windows 11 is a reimagining of the operating system. Further details for developers such as updates to the Microsoft Store, the new Windows App SDK, codenamed Project Reunion, new Fluent design guidelines, and more were discussed during another developer-focused event on the same day. At the 24th of June media event, Microsoft also announced that Windows 11 would be released in holiday 2021, with an exact date not given, but on the 31st of August 2021. Microsoft announced that Windows 11 was to be released on the 5th of October 2021. The release would be phased, with newer eligible devices to be offered the upgrade first. Microsoft expects the rollout to be finished by mid-2022. Since its predecessor Windows 10 was released more than 6 years earlier, this is the longest time span between successive releases of Microsoft Windows operating systems, beating the time between Windows XP and Windows Vista. Windows 11 includes a new user interface, a redesigned Start menu, an overhauled Microsoft Store, widgets, Microsoft Teams integration, and lots more. Microsoft has released detailed hardware requirements for Windows 11. Upgrading from Windows 10 to Windows 11 might follow the same format as previous system updates. Specifically, it'll use the Windows Update software pre-installed on all Microsoft systems to make the process entirely painless. Microsoft hopes to hit all eligible systems by the middle of 2022. The good news is, for those who prefer simplicity over complexity, Windows 11 is going to be a great release for you. It's an absolute joy to use, with a fluid UX that is almost perfect. Windows 11 is a breath of fresh air for those who enjoy the spectacle of software design, and a great release for those who value productivity enhancements and getting to work over everything else. However, upgrading to Windows 11 is free, and you don't need to pay an upgrade to Windows 11. However, Windows 11 system requirements state that a PC must have at least an 8th gen Intel CPU, with some 7th gen chips now included, 4 GB of RAM, 64 GB of storage space, and a 9-inch display with HD resolution, as well as UEFI, Secure Boot, and TPM 2.0 compatibility. Owners who run Windows 10 will be eligible to download Windows 11 for free. However, the ability to use Microsoft's latest operating system will largely depend on your computer's age, and what type of processor it uses. Microsoft's Director of Enterprise and OS Security David Weston wrote in the 25th of June blog post that the purpose of the company's TPM requirement is to help protect encryption keys, user credentials, and other sensitive data behind a hardware barrier so that malware and attackers can't access or tamper with that data. Moki stated that Microsoft has also promised some better performance. So that means both better battery life, better security, and there's actually some perks for gamers in there as well. Performance-wise, the company said your PC will need a special processor to run Windows 11. Microsoft previously said its phased and measured approach to introducing the new operating system will begin with Windows 10 PCs and PCs that come preloaded with Windows. Microsoft Windows 11 began a very slow rollout over the coming months, and will end throughout the end of 2022. Users will be notified when they're eligible for the update from now through mid-2022. Microsoft has stated that it's officially expecting all eligible PCs to receive the update by mid-2022. Newer devices will get the update first. It's using intelligence models like hardware eligibility, reliability metrics, age of the device, and other factors to determine when PCs will get Windows 11, with older PCs getting the update later. Then, by the second half of 2022, Windows 11 will become fully available. You can try using Microsoft's Windows 11 PC Health Check tool to cross-check your PC for compatibility. If you don't receive a notification by then, make sure your system meets the minimum requirements for the OS. Otherwise, you'll have to manually load it onto your system. If you met the minimum requirements for the OS, you should be able to upgrade to Windows 11. If you don't meet the minimum requirements for the OS, don't worry, Windows 10 will continue to receive support until the 14th of October 2025. For everyone else, the rollout of Windows 11 will be gradual. Microsoft says existing Windows 10 devices that are eligible for the Windows 11 upgrade will start to be able to upgrade today. If your system is incompatible and you don't meet the requirements, then you'll have to use the Media Creation tool to install Windows 11. Moreover, Microsoft has declared that starting the 1st of January 2023, all new laptops running on Windows 11 will need to have a front-facing camera. For those concerned with privacy, this means a trip to the office supply store to grab more tape with which to cover up the pesky little lenses. And for those who've fully immersed themselves in the world of remote work, this means an end to the days of fearing a laptop will have a bad camera, or worse, no camera. According to the Windows 11 requirement document, Microsoft notes that the front camera must have at least HD, 1280 x 720 pixels, resolution with a minimum of 15 fps. In low light conditions, the camera must maintain 10 fps. It must also support auto exposure and auto white balance. However, not all computers will be compatible with the new OS from Microsoft. If you're not ready for Windows 11, you can keep using Windows 10 until the 14th of October 2025, even when your PC doesn't meet the requirements for Windows 11. Again, Windows 11 requirements include a PC with a TPM 2.0 chip, either Intel 8th generation or AMD Ryzen 2000 or newer processor besides i7 5600U. Your PC also needs to have 4 GB of RAM, the processor clock speed will have 1 GHz or faster, have 2 processor cores, and 64 GB of storage or more. The display, meanwhile, is required to be at least 720 pixels and larger than 9 inches diagonally with at least 8 bits per color channel. As for graphics, it needs to be compatible with DirectX 12 with the latest WDDM 2.0 driver. Your PC will also need to support Secure Boot, and if you're not ready for Windows 11, or if you didn't meet the requirements for Windows 11, you can keep using Windows 10 until the 14th of October 2025. All Windows editions except Enterprise LTSB/LTSC are supported until October 14, 2025 as long as they install the latest feature upgrades. Windows 11 version 21H2 will retire on the 10th of October 2023 for Home, Pro, Pro Education, and Pro for workstations, and the 8th of October 2024 for Enterprise and Education. And that's all I have something to say.
Thank you Danimates Koopa. That was well explained.
Wait till Danimates hears this.
Okay. Anyway, stay tuned for... Oh, and...
Oh my god, you guys! Windows 11 is out now!
Yeah! Awesome to know.
Although, my PC doesn't meet the requirements for Windows 11, so I'm still using Windows 10.
You're not gonna believe this, Danimates. Windows 11 is released now.
Yes. That's great. Now
But the requirements include a PC with a TPM 2.0 chip, either Intel 8th generation or AMD Ryzen 2000 or newer processor besides i7 5600U, 4 GB of RAM of system storage. The processor clock speed will have 1 GHz or faster, have 2 processor cores, secure boot enabled, and 64 GB of storage or more. The display needs to be at least 720 pixels and larger than 9 inches diagonally with at least 8 bits per color channel. As for graphics, it needs to be compatible with DirectX 12 with the latest WDDM 2.0 driver.
shoot, I forgot. Well, that's okay, since it didn't have it.
What was that all about?
Wow. It's finally here.
Also, Thunderbirds got tagged at Brandon Pryor number 13. Luckily, I recorded that for this too. Here it is. That bleeding wasn't very severe to kill him, so he survived.
I thought he's gonna get reanimated, but no. Glad he survived.